Hello, everybody out there in the world. How are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, and I am here to give you the best commentary on property. Stay tuned today for a little special feature about why it is so important that you as a landlord should charge market value rent. I have spoken to so many people over the years that have started their journey as investor landlords with a bit of a naive kind of attitude, I guess. And it can be quite distressing to see these repeated mistakes that many people make. Even worse are the people who want to invest in property but think it's too hard or risky or time consuming, and they don't get started at all. Now, I spend a lot of my time with clients addressing the risks involved in property investment and how we can stop these from occurring, obviously. Now, one of the biggest is failing to increase rents regularly or at least charge market value rent. Now, obviously, let me be completely clear up front that as landlords, we are providing a home for someone because, as I've said so many times, the state and federal governments, certainly here in Australia, aren't providing enough. This is why the negative gearing policy here in Australia works. It encourages private investors to supply the housing that the governments can't and don't want to afford. But at the end of the day, we are dealing with other human beings here, and we do need to treat them fairly. That is just good karma. But you also need to treat your investment property like a business. Imagine buying a business worth $600,000. You would treat it very seriously, right? And you would have the resources and the systems in place to get the best results. Now, unfortunately, too many people invest in property of the same value with a totally different mindset, and they make emotional decisions that do not maximize the potential investment. Rents have increased significantly recently here in Australia, and many tenants across the country are still paying a very low rent. Now, of course, this might be because their lease is not up for renewal yet. All landlords should regularly review their rents to ensure that they are at the market rate. Working with your property manager and your professional will help you make that assessment, especially if that property is located interstate. There are many reasons why, as a landlord, you might choose not to increase the rent on your investment property. A favourite reason that I hear a lot is that, oh, but they're great tenants, I don't want to lose them. It's by far the most common reason. Trust me, most tenants know that they're onto a good thing if they're renting your property. They will know what rent that they should be paying. If they vacate your property, then they will just have to pay market rent elsewhere. And just think that through as well. You're buying an investment property to change your financial future. If you don't charge market value rent, then you're putting yourself at a major disadvantage. Charging market value rent will obviously help you pay your expenses, cover the mortgage, and perhaps even start to reduce the debt on your investment property, which will create equity and that passive income we all want. That's why you're doing this. Why wouldn't you want to get ahead? And then think about if you need to or want to sell your property. Not a lot of people think about this. If you're trying to sell the property to another investor because you've got tenants in your property and they're mid-lease, you're just going to make it even more difficult for yourself because your investor buyer obviously wants to get the best possible rent for that property. If you're not charging proper market value rent, then you're going to be putting off most of your buyers from the get-go. Those buyers are going to choose a different property, one just down the road, that is receiving market value rent, which will also make it easier for them to purchase because, of course, in times of reduced borrowing capacity, because interest rates have gone up, the better yield is king. Most investors, I promise you, don't even think about this. Rents don't always increase massively, of course, like they have done recently, but a small regular review is much better than a large, infrequent change that can shock the tenant so much that they do move out. Now, landlords might feel daunted by increasing the rent for the first time, but really, like I say, the reality is that if the increase is reasonable, there really should be no problem at all with the tenant. Most tenants know what rent they should be paying, and your property manager can also advise you, right? And overall, I'd say try not to sweat the small stuff too much. If you are serious about property investing and you truly want to create a better financial future for yourself and your family, you need to remain focused on building a portfolio and increasing your overall net worth position. I promise you this is much easier if you are charging market value rent. Many people stop at just 1 or 2 investment properties when they could easily continue their investing to achieve financial independence. They also get really wrapped up in worrying about small issues that really should not be stopping them from moving forward, okay? Charge market value rent. I'm not talking about rent gouging, I'm just talking about being fair. All right, so promise me you'll go away and do that. I'm going to keep you posted on all things property for the rest of the year and well into 2023. Give me a little like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye.